Welcome to Thriving Moms of Autistics podcast, a free resource for moms raising young autistic children. I am your host, Dr. Christina Wilson. I created Thriving Moms of Autistics after years of experience working with families and having my own autistic child. I coach moms of young autistics one-on-one to tap into their strengths, create a supportive community, set firm boundaries, and raise their autistic child with confidence. Subscribe to the podcast and check out the earlier episodes so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's get to it. Hi, Mom. Happy New Year. There were many joys and challenges in 2023. There will always be ups and downs raising an autistic, and there will always be ups and downs for every human being. We celebrate things that people often take for granted. We have experiences and challenges that others don't always understand. The New Year's resolution for me is always the same every single year. It's to grow and to be my best. I haven't always had that mindset. My mindset was much more fixed when I was younger. I know what it's like on both sides of the coin, which is pretty common for most human beings. We learn as we grow and as we get older. That is why I'm committed to helping other moms grow. In this episode, I share the most powerful tool to help you thrive in your autism journey, manage those challenges that you'll inevitably face in the new year. So find the full transcript at thrivingmomsofautistics.com/61. And please share the episode or the podcast with other moms to help them grow in their autism journey. And you would also do this by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. And so it furthers the reach. I appreciate you. So there are benefits of growing your mindset as a mom of an autistic. I have explored mindset in previous episodes. You can catch those past episodes on this topic by going to Thriving Moms of Autistics and scrolling down to the bottom of the homepage and click on Growth Mindset under Topic, or clicking in the transcript. To recap, an example of fixed mindset is, I can't do this. Whereas a growth mindset example is, this is hard, but I can learn, or I will do this. And autistics struggle with perfectionism and OCD, which creates a fixed mindset. One of the greatest gifts you can give your child is to model a growth mindset. We learn by example and repeated exposure. We help our children succeed when we encourage them to focus on effort and progress rather than perfectionism. Another benefit is that your mindset creates an experience of praise and hope. When we choose a growth mindset, the hard stuff gets a little lighter. The challenges are still challenges, but what changes is how we view the challenge and how we deal with it. Our load doesn't feel so heavy. That's a good thing. We give ourselves some grace and have some hope for what is to come, and that we can keep moving forward rather than just feeling stuck. Now, Christmas is a magical time. As moms, we work really hard to make it joyful and fun for the ones that we love. It is so satisfying to see the fruitful outcomes in their hard work and to see the smiles on their faces. Our son had an unusual holiday this year. He was hyper-focused on something he wanted that was no longer being made. or manufactured, he had a really hard time moving forward from this. So, of course, a social story was developed and it helped. But then things just fell apart on Christmas morning. It was disappointing. Um, I had to take a step back and remind myself that he needed time to process this more fully. I knew that once he did, he would be more logical and calmer in his time. It doesn't mean it's our time, it's mom's time, right? It's in his time. He is still little and he's learning. And I knew that I needed to model calmness and ideas to help him grow in this experience. In these times, we benefit from not getting lost in our own emotions and changing our minds. Sure enough, he processed in his time and grew from the experience. So, what are some ways that moms can nurture a growth mindset in themselves and their autistic child? But here are some practical tips to establish this in your own life. And the first one is to be intentional rather than leading with emotion. I know sometimes it's really hard, especially as your child escalates. Sometimes we feel like we're escalating. So we have to kind of take that step back and be mindful of that. And this takes practice and awareness. So be kind to yourself because you don't just do this overnight, okay? Be aware when your emotions are rising and take action to support growth rather than getting fixated on the negative. Model this for your child and help them work through the issues as well. Ask them, is this a big problem or is it a little problem? And you might need to define that for them to get them thinking. Guide them in solving the issue and moving forward, even when the outcome isn't what they had planned. And we all know what happens when our kids don't have something happen as they had planned it out or the routine was changed. That can be so overwhelming for them, right? Focus on the positive. This is number 2. Focus on the positive of your situation and less on the negative. Noticing is encouraging. You can say, I know this is disappointing. I appreciate that you're taking steps to work through this. You can do hard things. Or it might be something as simple as you're working hard on your handwriting. I know it's not your favorite task. I see improvement. Noticing is encouraging. And last, celebrate effort and progress. Focus on learning opportunities and model your growth mindset for your child. In time and with consistency, you'll notice changes for the better, such as navigating meltdowns and setbacks more effectively, helping your child refrain from negative self-talk, because that's heartbreaking, and coping with anxiety better for both of you. In 2024, make a growth mindset part of your self-care regimen. You might consider a 90-minute clarity session or a 4-month VIP program, focusing on using self-care, community, mindset, and your innate strength to shift from surviving to thriving in your autism journey. So you can go to Thriving Moms of Autistics and click Work with Christina to learn more. Join me in committing to growth this new year for ourselves and for our amazing children. We can do this together. Let's meet again next week.
Thanks for listening to Thriving Moms of Autistics podcast. Be sure to leave a review and tell other moms of autistics about the podcast. Let's support each other. Find the full transcript for this episode at thrivingmomsofautistics.com. And be assured, you are not alone in your journey.